All right, guys, so this is going to be our recording demonstration for the lighting exercise. So hopefully everything goes smoothly and we can get through this. All right, so you're going to download this file from Canvas, and when you open it up, this is what you should find. So what we're going to be doing for this exercise is we're going to figure out what the shadows are like for each of these objects using perspective. So we're going to figure out how to correctly light these different objects in space and how the shadows fall across each other and things like that. All right, so we're going to go all the way down here to the bottom, and we're going to start with the basics. So we're going to start with this box. Oops. Now I'm going to warn you guys, on the recordings I'm using Twitch Studio, which doesn't allow for pop-up menus to appear when I go in here, say, and like select the line tool versus the shape tool and things like that. So I'm going to do my best to narrate as we go along because those won't be visible. All right, so I'm going to go down here to the first file right down here at the bottom, and you should see this image. So I'm going to add a new layer right here. I'm going to hit Command Save, and I'm going to figure out what the shape of my shadow is and which direction it's casting. So we're going to use this sun and figure out how the shadow is going to fall across the image right here. All right, so we're going to start from the middle in the sun right here, and we're going to draw a line down through the horizon line down right here, okay? All right, and then from the horizon line, from that point, I'm going to draw a line straight through every corner of the bottom of my box. Okay. Just like so. Okay. Hit Command Save often, Command S if you're on a Mac. And then I'm going to change my line to orange. I'd added a new layer, and I'm going to change the line color to orange. And next I'm going to strike through the top corners of the box so that they meet the lines going down from this side. So this line and this line are going to meet right here. So it kind of makes this little triangle right here. So I'm going to back that up, but I'm going to do that for all four corners of the box. So I'm going to zoom out. And I'm going to strike through each of the corners and through the correct lines, like so. Okay. All right, so we should have four lines meeting each other down here. Okay, now I'm going to outline my shadow really quick, just so that way you guys can see what I just did. So I'm going to change that to pink, and I'm going to go around each corner on the bottom part where I know my cast shadow is going to be. Okay. Then I'm going to turn off those layers, and boom, there we go. So this is the shape that our shadow will be. Now we're going to hit Command Save, add a new layer, and next we're going to pick out the polygon tool. So hit L on your keyboard to get the lasso tool, and in the pop-up menu, normally you have this lasso tool as the default. So you can draw out this little circle and you can make a selection. Hit Command D to deselect, D as in dog. But we're going to use the polygon lasso tool. So this one is more for geometric shapes like this. So I'm going to hit Command D, and that's what I'm going to do right here in this empty layer. L on the keyboard, and then go around the corner where you know your cast shadow was just drawn. Go around and close the circle, and then I'm going to zoom out, hit G on your keyboard, and get the gradient tool. So normally the paint bucket tool is the default. I'm going to hit Command Z and undo that, but the gradient tool is the one on the top. So I'm going to zoom out. I'm going to hit G on my keyboard, and I'm going to drag a line. Oops, I got to change it to black. All right, and then the gradient tool, you will have the pop-up menu. You can get, I have a cheat sheet for this, you can get the shadows to be transparent in the presets right up here in the top corner. If you click on that, you can't see the pop-up window, but I have the cheat sheet on Canvas. And then you can get the gradient tool. So you're going to drag that out. And this is what it should look like. So it should go from black to transparent. And then you're going to hit Command D. And then there you go. Then I'm going to hit L on my keyboard. I'm going to pick the lasso tool again. And then I'm going to shade the rest of my object. Now every time we have a change in plane, we have a change in shadow. So you don't want to select like the whole thing and do one big gradient. You want to do the gradient one side at a time. So I'm going to drag the line through here. Boom. Now we got one side shaded. Command D to deselect. And then everywhere that you see a shadow, that side is going to also be in shadow. Okay? So this side is shadow. This side has light hitting it right here on the top. So we're going to back that up. L for lasso tool. And then go around each corner of the box till you get the little circle. G on the keyboard for the gradient tool. And then shade. Command D to deselect. And then there you go. And Command save. All right, and that's how we shade our objects. So I'm going to turn on those layers, and then this is what you're going to export. So you'll export your work layers to me.